Hola clase, ¿cómo están? Excelente! And welcome back to Senior Cowards class. All right, today this video is for Spanish 2 and 3 because we're kind of covering the same things. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the warm-up. So here is your warm-up. Okay? So it says complete with a conjugation of ser or an adjective. Okay? So I want you to figure that out. And again, this is just review, so if you don't know it, it's okay. But really try to see what you remember from last year, okay? This goes for everybody. So go ahead, give this a try. Let me get you off on the right foot here. Number one, it says, no soy alto, yo soy blank. Okay, let's think about what that says for a second. No soy alto says, I am not tall. So in Spanish, your next sentence is going to say, I am, and then you write the word for short. Okay? All right, go ahead, give this a try. Pause the video now. Okay, so let's have a look. No soy alto, yo soy bajo. If you were a girl, it would be baja, but whoever is talking is a male. Okay, I'm not tall, I'm short. All right, next one. Mis amigos no son antipáticos, ellos son simpáticos. Okay? No son antipáticos, son simpáticos. My friends aren't mean, they're nice. You're mean. Okay. Número 3. Mi mamá no es fea, ella es, you could say, bonita, guapa, atractiva. Okay? My mom's not ugly, she's pretty, good looking, attractive. Número 4. Juan y yo somos. This is a tough one. We'll have time to practice this. But the sentence says, Juan and I, that makes we. Juan and I are very athletic. We are athletic. Número 5. Tú is going to be eres. Tú eres cómico. You are funny. Man, you're funny. Número 6. Mi perro es blanco. My dog is white. Okay? Okay. So now, what we're going to do, let me make myself a little bigger here on the screen. All right, so now we're going to learn the subject pronouns, how to say I and you and things like that, okay? All right, so repitan clase. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. Okay? So we're going to learn those today, or go back over them. You should know them by now, but that's perfectly fine. All right, so let's have a look here. Okay, so here's a look at what they actually look like. Okay? So the personal pronouns or subject pronouns are what these are called. All right. So if you need to, you can copy this down in your notes. If you don't, just follow along. But I can tell you, if you don't know what every word on this page means, you are going to struggle, okay? So one way or the other, whether you need to write it down right now or not, make sure that you know these, all right? All right, first one. Yo is the Spanish word for I, as in me. Tú means you, but that is informal, like to your friend or your classmate or your cousin. Él, with this accent mark like that, means he. Ella means she. And then usted means you, but it's a very polite, very formal you. Okay? Nosotros, which is what you would use for your boss, a customer, maybe your parents, depending on the family. Nosotros means we. Nosotras, if it's only girls that are speaking, a group of girls. Vosotros means y'all. Vosotras would be for a group of girls. This is only used in Spain. Okay, like if you'll say, what do y'all want to do? ¿Qué queréis hacer? Vosotras sois altas. I'll always teach that one, but I'll never put it on a test because it's not something you'll need. Even if you go to Spain, you can get by completely without it, and I have. You'll hear it a lot, I will say that. Okay, ellos means they. Ellas is they if it's all girls, and then ustedes means you all. Now the thing about this chart, the way it's organized, everything on the left is singular, everything on the right is the same thing, plural. So if there's one, it is yo, I. If there are two, nosotros, we. You, y'all, he, they, etc. Also, it goes first person, second person, third person, with the exception of these two down here. All right. So those are your subject pronouns. Make sure you know those front and back. If you don't, you're in trouble. Okay, so learn them now if you don't already. Okay, so one more time to go back to myself here. All right, one more time. So it is yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. Okay. All right. Now, next thing on the list is this. All right. Let me explain something real quick. This is what we call a formal versus an informal register. Now, in English, there's only one word for you, whether you're talking to your friend or your boss. Talking to your friend, you are my buddy. Talk to the president of a company, you are a hard worker. It's just you, and they're both exactly the same. In Spanish, however, there is an informal you, which is tú, and a formal you, which is usted. It's very important to use the right one, because if you use the wrong one, you are going to come across rude, or it's just going to be very strange. For example, this is what we call formal versus informal register. I learned about this on the radio. When it comes to the register you're supposed to use, you can go up or down one register, but if you go two, you raise an eyebrow. You've broken a rule. You're going to stand out. So here's your example. So you're on your sofa with your friend playing Madden, and here's where it should be. Here's on the level. You should say, "Hey man, what's up? How you doing?" Right? You can take it up one and say, "Hey man, how are you today?" A little more formal. If you take it up more than one, you look at your best friend and you say, "Hello, sir. How are you today?" You've gone too far. You can only go one. Same thing with going down. Here's how you should talk to the principal. You should say, "Hello, Mr. Johnson. How are you today?" All right? You can take it down one register and say, "What's up, Mr. Johnson?" He'll probably say, "I'm fine, whatever." If you take it down too far, too informal, you see the principal walk by, you say, "What's up, Mike?" You will be in the office. You'll get to spend some time with Mike. Okay? So that's to give you an idea of formal versus informal. The same thing in Spanish. For example, if you talk to an adult that you don't know, maybe a customer, and you say, "¿Cómo estás?" It comes across as too buddy-buddy, like you're their friend. And it would sound more like if you had a customer come into your nice store and you said, "What's up, bruh?" It's too informal. That's fine to say to your friend, but not to the customer. Okay. Same thing. It would come across as rude, and it will if you do it incorrectly. Okay. That's why whenever y'all talk to me, I prefer that you say "muy bien" y usted, because you're asking me politely because I'm the teacher. Okay. Now let's see if we can figure these out. All right. Let's look at this. All right, so I'm going to point to it, and all you got to say is formal or informal. Okay? Your teacher. Formal. Your friend. Informal. Now, we're talking Spanish grammar here. If there's someone that you call Mr. Santos, Would that be formal or informal the way you talk to him? Formal. You're calling him by his last name. That's really the rule of thumb here. If you would call someone by their last name, that's generally your formal thing. There are exceptions, of course. Maybe he's like a youth pastor and you're in really close with him. It's like, hey, what up, Mr. Santos? That can happen, but as generally, you want to be respectful to someone like that. All right, person on the street who's your same age, informal. Person on the street who's an adult, formal. Someone that you call Pablo, most likely that is informal if you're calling someone by their first name. A customer, again, if you're being professional, that is a formal interaction. And your parents. This could go either way. I've had many students that were in Latino families, and it truly depends on the parent. On the family. Sometimes you call your parents, you say "Cómo estás?" and sometimes you say "Cómo está?" It probably has something to do with the country as well. Okay, the country that family is from, because I know I had a coworker from Colombia, and he would always refer to me as usted, which as a friend is very formal. It would be like calling your friend sir all the time, to my ears. Okay, so did that. Now, let me show you one other thing about our pronouns here, our little subject pronouns. All right. So if you say Pedro es alto, he is tall, right? Pedro is tall. If you want to refer to him, you could say él es alto. Okay? So Pedro is the same as él, he. That's why it's called a pronoun. It takes the place of a noun, so you don't have to say Pedro, Pedro, Pedro. He's my friend, he's my cousin, he's awesome, he's athletic. Okay? What if I say Pedro y Juan? What would I replace that with? That would become ellos. Ellos, they are tall. Okay? What if I say Maria y yo? Who does that make? Maria y yo. Nosotros. If it's a girl talking, it could even be nosotras. Okay? So for example, Maria y yo somos altos versus nosotros somos altos. We are tall. Maria y yo, what I'm saying, if you take that out, you can replace it with nosotros. Instead of saying Maria and I are tall, you can say we are tall. Okay. Now, one last thing about those that's important to know. So let's say this is a guy and this is a girl, okay? So let's say there's a bunch of girls. Oops. There's a bunch of girls, a whole bunch of them, whole pack of them. That is, and we want to talk about them. Ellas. Okay? And then what happens if one guy walks up? He's like, hola, chicas. Now, if you want to refer to this group as a whole, these people, that is now ellos. Even one male that makes it a mixed group will make it things like ellos, nosotros, etc. If the male leaves, then we're back to ellas because it's just girls again. All right? So that's important to understand. So let me show you a little PowerPoint here. And this PowerPoint is this. All right? So this is a drawing of me that I made years ago. I guess I need a haircut. All right, so you tell me. I in español. Yo. You informal. Tú. You formal. Usted. That's how you write usted. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be abbreviated with a capital U. He. Él. She. Ella. We. Nosotros. If it's two girls and they say we, nosotras. We, mixed group, nosotros. You all in Spain, y'all in Spain, vosotros. You all in the United States, ustedes. This is over here on this side of the ocean. It's like, oh man, y'all want to go to the mall? Ustedes, ustedes. Every day when I say, hola clase, ¿cómo están? The full question would be, ¿cómo están ustedes? How are you all? Okay, they, ellos, they, if it's all girls, ellas. That's that, okay? That was that silly little thing. Okay, next, let's do this. There's a little online quiz. I'm going to show you how to get to it. I'm real big on using tinyURL to make shortcuts. So here's how to get to this one. You go to tinyurl.com / cow click quiz. tinyurl.com / cow click quiz, and that will take you to this. I'll show you. It'll take you to this website, and you hit play. And this one says Elena y yo. So who does that make? Elena and I. Elena y yo. The answer, nosotros. All right. Javier, a boy's name. Ed, etc. Okay, so that's how you do that one. It's just 15 of them. It won't take you that long, and it'll tell you what your score was. All right. Now, so that will be a good little practice. See how you do on that one. All right. So let me show you. Hold on. I want to see if I want to include this. I'll do this a short version of this because I don't want to make this lesson too long. Here is a little song about pronouns. And it goes like this. I'll just sing it to you. It goes, yo means I, tú means you, usted is what you call someone older than you. Él means he, ella means she, nosotros, nosotras is how we say we. And the other part goes, ellos for boys, ellos means they, ellos, ellos is how we say they. Ellas for girls, ellas means they, ellas, ellas is how we say they. Ustedes for you all, ustedes means y'all, ustedes, ustedes is how we say you all. Okay, so there you go. This one is a really particularly important line. Usted is what you call someone older than you. Okay, it means you. All right, good. Next, so we got through our little song. So now I'm going to tell you about noun-adjective agreement. This is something that we do not do in English. That's why some people get a little hung up on it and have trouble. So in English, we say the boy is tall. We say the girls are tall. One boy is tall, 10,000 girls are tall, but it's just tall. In Spanish, those two things are different. All right, and I'm gonna go over that a little bit. All right, so let's look at this. I'm going to post this sheet on Google Classroom. It's really just notes. There's no practice on it. So this is the sheet that I'm going to post. And let's have a look at this together. Okay. Notes for noun-adjective agreement. In Spanish, everything is either masculine or feminine. Masculine nouns usually end in the letter O. Chico, libro, escritorio. Feminine nouns usually end with a, ción, or de. Chica, nación, libertad. Those are feminine words. If a noun ends with E, it can sometimes depend. For example, if it's just a word like this, guante, that one you would just have to know. You would just have to know that it's masculine, maybe if you looked it up. However, sometimes things like el estudiante is a male student. La estudiante is a female student. Okay, and that's not saying, here, this is what I was getting to. Sometimes it doesn't make much sense why it's masculine or feminine. Usually it does. Chico, masculine, boy. Chica, feminine, girl. But in this case, we have el pupitre, desk, is masculine. La mesa, table, is feminine. El libro, book, is masculine. La revista, magazine, is feminine. And it's not saying there's anything manly about a desk and feminine about a table. It just has to be one or the other. Okay, I'm sure it goes back to the Latin root of the word. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. In Spanish, the adjective usually comes after the noun. Okay, for example, tall boy in Spanish is chico alto, boy tall. Okay, so you say what it is and then describe it. Also, the adjective always has to match the noun that it describes in number and gender. For example, tall boy, chico, alto. Tall girl, chica, alta. Tall boys, chicos, altos. Tall girls, chicas, altas. Okay? So once you get practiced enough on this, it will sound really bad if somebody says alto chicas. That sounds so bad. Alto chicas. No. Chicas altas, tall girls. A lot of tall girls in this town. Weird. To make something plural, if it ends in a vowel, you simply add s. Chico, chicos. Bajo, bajos. If it ends in a consonant, you add an es. So profesor becomes profesores. It sounds a lot better than profesors. Okay? Another one, difícil. Plural is difíciles instead of difícils. You see why we have to add that? And only an O can change to an A. Okay, so chico, chica, but things like estudiante or grande with an E will just stay the same. All right, so that is that. Now, so we did that. Let's see, I'm just trying not to leave anything out here. So here's a good example of what things should look like when everything is matching. Okay, so here's a picture of these little girls. And there are two ways we can really say this. It says, las chicas bajas son artísticas. The short girls are artistic. Or alternatively, you could say, las chicas son bajas y artísticas. The girls are short and artistic. Okay? Either way, as, all the way across. If you're describing chicas, this sentence could be a mile long, and as long as you're describing that, you're going to continue seeing the as, okay? Okay, now we did this in yesterday's yesterday's video, but I want to do it again. I'm just going to go straight through and look at these adjectives again, all right? So, artistic, artístico, athletic, atlético. Notice there's no H. Atlético. Good. Bueno. Funny. Cómico or chistoso. Disorganized. Desorganizado. Studious. Estudioso. Smart, intelligent. Inteligente. Bad, malo, organized, organizado, lazy, perezoso, serious, serio, nice, simpático, hardworking, trabajador, stupid or dumb, estúpido, tonto, bobo, mean, antipático, alto, bajo, guapo, guapa, bonita, grande, young is joven, ugly, feo. Red-headed, pelirrojo, or in her case, pelirroja. Small, pequeño. Old, viejo, anciano. Remember, anciano is more like elderly. Okay, now I'm going to cut that one off there. Good. Okay, review that. Okay. Now here's something I want you to do. I want to see how well you can write these things. Okay? Remember, first you say what it is, then describe it. All right, just do this on whatever sheet of paper. Big dogs, small house, short friends. All right, pause the video and give this a try now. Okay, so big dogs is perros grandes. Small house, casa pequeña. And short friends are amigos bajos. If they're all girls, amigas bajas. There you go. Dogs is perros, so we say grandes because it's more than one. Small house, casa pequeña. And this is feminine, casa, so this is also feminine, casa pequeña. And then here again, we have two people, amigos bajos or amigas bajas. Okay? Okay, now next I want to look at the verb ser. And ser is also on this sheet that I'm putting on Google Classroom. Okay, so on this sheet, you have all of a lot of good stuff. You have your describing words, like tall, short, all that stuff. You've got good words here, like boy, girl, friend, etc. Okay, so here is the verb ser. Now, if you want to say I am, you can say soy, or you can say yo soy. People typically don't say those in parentheses all the time. So for example, if I were to tell somebody I'm a teacher, I would simply say soy maestro. I am teacher. Soy maestro. Okay? All right. Repita en clase. Soy, eres, es, somos, sois, son. Okay? So again, soy is the same thing as yo soy, and that goes for every one of these. Now you'll notice these three share a conjugation. Él es, he is. Ella es, she is. Usted es, you are. Saying it very politely. And over here, ellos son, ellas son means that they are. Ustedes son, you all are. All right, the main function of the verb ser is to describe characteristics of people, places, and things. For example, if someone is short, that's what they look like. If someone is rich, that's a characteristic of theirs. Oh yeah, he's a rich man. It is part of who they are. If you are from Georgia, it is a part of who you are. That means you're Southern. You came from a certain culture and heritage, and all those things. That being from the South is part of who you are. Just as like someone who's from California is going to be part of who they are. They're a Californian. Okay. A helpful acronym is DOCTOR for knowing when to use ser. Description, occupation, characteristics, time, origin, relationship. Okay, so we're going to get into estar later, not today. But like I said, anything ser is part of who you are. Okay, for example, yo soy americano y mis amigos son mexicanos. I am American and my friends are Mexican. Somos maestros, pero mi amigo es médico. We are teachers, but my friend is a doctor. Señor Cowart es inteligente y muy guapo. Señor Cowart is smart and very handsome. I'm not sure how that one got in there. Okay, and then like I told you, your adjectives are down here. All right, so I'm going to show you a little cheer. Okay, so I'll be your cheerleader for a minute. All right, so it goes like this for ser. It goes, yo soy, tú eres él. ella, usted, es, nosotros, somos, vosotros sois. Ellos son, ellas son, ustedes son. Okay, so that's our cheer for today. All right, if you want to rewind that, play it about 10 times, make that the new jam on your iPod. I'm sure you can do that. All right, anyway, so this is going to be the last thing for today, and I will leave you to your young lives. All right, I need you to, on a sheet of paper, I'm not going to fool with Google Classroom for this, it'll be too much stuff for one day. On a sheet of paper, I want you to write 4 sentences using the verb ser and these adjectives, describing actual people and things from your life. You can say, my friend is short and funny. My house is big and red. Anything like that. The one thing you cannot do is use an online translator. I don't want to see Google Translate spitting out these sentences, okay? This is not even for a grade. Get the practice that you need. All right? So that's it for today, and I will see you when I see you. Adios.